Okay. Now let's move to the theoretical framework. Okay. This one. So you have here in the theoretical framework, resilience theory. Then you have study of Masten et al. 2008. Okay. So how can we improve this theoretical framework? Okay. Dito muna tayo. In the theoretical framework, I understand na sa sciences, kasi I have encountered before when we did a review for pharmacy and for medtech, they don't have a specific theory, but they have a proposition. When we say proposition, we are talking about related studies that uses the same, anong tawag dyan, yung sa steps ba yan or process yung sa ginagawa nila na in the study. You can have that one as a proposition. Pwede yan siya. If they don't have a theory. Kung may theory, then there should be the title of the theory and then the author of the theory cited properly. Okay? Now, if you're going to go back to this one, okay, so you have resilience theory, then you have study of Masten et al. 2008. Okay? What have you noticed? You have a theory and then more or less parang proposition. Na ang question is, sino ang author ng resilience theory? The author of the resilience theory could be Masten, di ba? So it should be in the theoretical framework, automatically, resilience theory, Masten, cite Masten et al. 2008. So that it's clear on your reader right away that you're using the resilience theory of Masten and not of other authors. Now, when you write the theoretical framework, if you have the proposition, then you stick with the proposition. Do not identify anymore the theory. The proposition, we allowed proposition in the theory if the theory cannot explain the relationship between variables in the quantity. But if the theory can explain the relationship or the interaction of the IV and the DV, then there's no need for a proposition. So simply, it also implies that in the theory, walang literature review actually. You just simply discuss what is the theory based on that particular author. Do not discuss the theory based on the other authors kasi you're going to confuse na your reader. Dapat you stick with the theory based on that author lang. Para, ang ano kasi dyan is that, why is it of all resilience theory ngano kay Masten man gyud imuha? So naturally, as a researcher, you believe na mas fitting yung resilience theory ni Masten compared doon sa ibang resilience theory. So that is why you stick with discussing the theory based on Masten. No longer, do not write anymore a literature review. Okay? Wala ka ng proposition dapat. Pero kung may proposition ka, proposition lang yun siya. Now, how many do you actually put? Actually, based doon sa nakita kong mga studies ng mga sciences that uses proposition, they only have 1 or 2 propositions. Depende kung usually kasi pag experimental, di ba ma'am, na may gina-follow kayo na mga yung sa steps ba yan? Yung sa ano ng experiment, di ba? Pag you follow, pag halimbawa dalawa yung gi-follow niyo na steps sa experiments niyo, dalawang magkaiba na ano, then you have the 2 proposition to support the two steps kumbaga pa the process. Pero kung isa lang naman, then isang proposition lang siya. The same thing in the theory, if one theory can explain the interaction of the IV and the DV, then one theory is enough. But if the one theory can only explain the IV and not the DV, then you should have another theory. Okay? Yun yung rule. But as much as possible, one is enough if the one can actually discuss the interaction between the IV and the DV. Okay? So, in writing the theory, okay, in stating the theory, particularly when you try to contextualize Kasi after in writing the theoretical framework, once you describe what was the theory about, you have to explain why the theory or how is the theory useful in your study, how can it be used in your study. So you can write it this way. You can do interconnected hypothesis. Okay? Pwede mo siyang gawing ganyan. You can also use if and then statements. If and then mga ganon. That's how it's better for you to contextualize that way. So you go back to the theory. And then contextualize in your study if resilience is this way, then ganon. Okay, you can do that. Or you can also write in the visual model. When we do the contextualization of the theory based on the visual model, sa quanti, ito actually yung assumption ng iyong study. Okay? So, naga-SEM ka or nagapat ka, you can explain the theory this way. So, you emphasize on the diagram, you emphasize on the arrow. In the arrow, you are talking about the relationship, you're talking about the path, and two-headed arrows also say something. Okay? So, these are the choices that you can actually do. It's up to you on how to script your theory based on the question, how will it be useful in the study? Okay? So, this is an example of a script on how to script your theory. This is based on the book of Creswell 2014. Okay? Siya. So, in the quali study, the same thing pa rin when you write theoretical framework. The difference lang again is you do not mention variables, factors, but you mention only the experiences. When you try to contextualize the theory on how will it be useful in your study, you focus again on the experiences, you focus again on the challenges. Okay? So the same pa rin siya actually. Pero yung mga if and then, yung mga hypothesize, that's for the quanti part.